guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. This is attempt number 2. I'll fill you in. So, I was 5 minutes into filming Sippin' and Spillin', and a vehicle that I did not recognize pulled up with a recliner in the back and starts honking right here in the gravel in front of me. And he lives down the way, and he was asking if we had found the dog because we had gone canvassing, you know. And anywho, I think he had been drinking the Jesus juice. Like he was a little inebriated, just a tad. Anyway, had that little conversation for a while, and then he had trouble backing out of the driveway, and he ran over my new lights that I just put in on my gravel. So that's 2 lights I've lost now. From people hitting them with their car, and they're not in a spot that like it's anyway. So that's a bummer. I'm like, they're brand new, guys. Can we not run over them? What am I gonna do? Anywho, he meant well. He's just it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So anyway, we've been under attack, guys. Total invasion, and I will explain what happened. So the other morning, yesterday morning, Mike came out and he's like, oh, what is that? And I'm like, oh, that's ants. There were ants in the living room, like walking right along the edge of the throw rug. And so I investigated, followed the trail. They were coming in from underneath the big bay window we have, like by the cabinets where there's like a seam where the hardwood floor is, and then that. We've never had an ant problem here before, but it's been so dry, I think they were coming in. It's very windy today, guys. It's like Dorothy, kind of windy today. Anyway, so don't come at me for my wind chimes because I'm mic'd and it's as good as it's gonna get. So, because I'm sitting on the front porch. So anyway, I thought I got them all cleaned up and taken care of. I found like a cracker that somebody had dropped that because I vacuum the first floor every day because it's all hardwood and a couple of throw rugs. And we have 2 big hairy dogs that even though I have a little pet vacuum for them, this time of year, they're just shedding like crazy. So it just looks like the little dust bunnies if I don't vacuum for, 12 hours. So, excuse me. So long story short, I'm like, well, this is unfortunate. There's a cracker there. It missed it somehow when I was vacuuming. And there's ants just swarming it. So I clean all that up and I follow the trail, and I think I got them all. Well, then that evening we see a few more again, and Frankie's like, I'm gonna clean it up, I'm gonna do it. So I'm like, okay. So she like moves the couch and moves all the stuff and pulled the rug up and like really cleaned it, like to make sure there was nothing else, like no other crumbs or whatever that they were coming for. So she puts the living room all back together, and Mike had a meeting last night, so he got home a little bit later, and I went to bed. Well, actually, I didn't go to bed. I went upstairs to work more on the videos that I was working on and answer a few emails regarding YouTube. And he stayed up to watch TV with Frank for a little while. And in the morning, and then he came to bed. In the morning, he goes, by the way, there's ants all over the couch, just covering the couch. Like they're living their best life. And I'm like, that's fabulous for me. So this morning, I got my ant spray and I went out here and I sprayed all under the edge of the window and all down in the crevices. And I sprayed like my life depended on it, okay? Like I got after it like I was mad at it, okay? So then I come inside and I'm, vacuuming up ants. I take the entire couch apart. I check every single cushion, every single thing. I take all the blankets that I normally keep, folded up on the couch, and I pull them all and I throw them in the wash. And I'm like on this ant hunt, like to see where they're going. I vacuum all the crevices in the couch, and which, to be honest, needed to be done. I hadn't done it in quite some time, and I probably had enough dog hair in there that I could have made another dog, okay? So it needed done anyway. The timing of it was not as fabulous as I would have liked, but that's fine because of the earlier incident that happened in the morning that I'll get to in a minute. It's been a day. Okay, so then I'm out there cleaning up, doing my thing, and vacuuming everything. And so I leave all the couch cushions off the couch because I'm like, I don't want to put them all back together just to have the ants crawl back in there again, and then I have to do this all again. So I'm watching, like, you know, to see if they're still kind of coming in, and they are. And now, like, more, because I've sprayed out there, so they're like starting to go out, and then they're like running inside. Now, granted, I know these guys have now been sprayed out there and they're gonna die. But I also don't want a bunch of carcasses like just everywhere. Plus, they bite and they hurt, and I don't like them. They're not fun. They're not like those red fire ants like I'm used to in California, and I guess they have them here too. I've never seen them. At least I haven't seen them here. But we get these black ants that look to me, I guess, like regular ants, but they bite and it hurts. In fact, I don't know if you can see that. That's just one of them. I have them all over my feet and stuff from earlier. But they're awful. They're awful little, yeah, I'm not a fan. Okay, so that being said, I left everything apart, and I'm like, I need to just get something in this crack so like no more of them can come in, and the ones that are like trying to make a beeline when I'm trying to vacuum and mop in here to get the rest of them, that it'll like get them under control too. So because we have hardwood floor downstairs and I have a couple of throw rugs in the house, I have that double-sided rug tape that you put down, and I was like, brilliant. It's basically like flypaper, right? So I took a strip of that and put it along the crease there where the window meets the floor, little joint there along the concrete. And the ones that were trying to get in were getting stuck to it, and the ones that were trying to go back out to the outside were getting stuck to it. And I'm like, this is brilliant. And I did it without like spraying a chemical or putting something in the house, you know. So that worked amazingly. I waited like all day. I left the couch cushions off until maybe about an hour or two ago. Maybe it's been 2 hours. And I put, you know, vacuumed the lost couple ants that were sort of searching around with their hair on fire that didn't know what to do. Vacuumed all of them up, and then put the couch cushions back together, and so far so good. So I keep checking though, like every time I walk into the house, into the living room, I'm looking to see if there's any more that have popped up, or if my system has worked. And I'm gonna continue to spray the outside by that window for the next few days just to make sure, because I do not like ants, number one, and I don't like bugs in the house. Like I try to keep the bugs in the outside. Like they can live outside. That's fine for the most part. I mean, unless you're a wasp, then. And most ants, to be honest, I'm not a big fan. But anyway, so I think I solved that problem. But that was like a whole thing. And then this morning, because my life's not exciting enough, this morning, it was nice this morning. It was beautiful. And I thought, oh, it's going to be a nice day. And then the sky started to get darker. Just a little bit, not a lot. So I checked the weather app, and it just said that there was going to be winds, like strong winds, starting at like 1 o'clock. And this, now mind you, this is at like 7 in the morning, okay? I was sitting with Bunko having my coffee. And I thought, oh, okay. And I'm like, we have, I know you guys may have seen the one canopy that we had set up over here, but we have the little white one that we had set up in the back for Freedom Weekend over the grill. Well, it wasn't anchored down with anything. It was just sitting on the back patio. And so then it started to look like it was going to rain. It didn't, none of the weather apps said we were going to get rain, but it started looking like it, right? So I thought, well, I better get started and get everybody fed. I was kind of slacking this morning. I'm not going to lie. I got to bed later than I planned because I was up doing emails and whatever, and on working on my videos, and I didn't get up as early as I had planned. And then I was kind of not moving as fast over my coffee like I would normally do. So I go outside to go do all my animal chores and feed the birds and feed the dogs and do everything. And I'm like, man, the wind's really picking up. Like, let me just finish doing the birds real quick, and I'll go inside and wake everybody up because they're going to need to help me like get this down. And no sooner did I think this thought than maybe like 2 minutes later, a big gust of wind goes, and I watch the canopy flip backwards onto the roof. And I'm like, cool. So I go inside, and forgetting that my husband's deaf. I always forget that he can't hear anything in like major circumstances. So I run in the house, and Frankie she's a teenager. She can sleep through anything. She could sleep through a hurricane, okay? She could sleep through like the Nazis marching across Poland. She could sleep through all of it, okay? So I walk in the house and I scream, all hands on deck, I need y'all outside. And I expected to hear a response or some scurrying. It was silence. So I threw my muck boots off. I ran upstairs and was like, Mike, I need you downstairs. There's an issue with the pop-up tent. It's on the roof. It's touching the electrical wires now. And because I watched it like flip back over and it was touching the wires. And I was like, this is just fabulous. So then I run into Frankie's room and I was like, hey, all hands on deck, let's go. And she was like, huh, okay. So I peeked out and it was off of the power lines that had rolled back down. So then we had never finished tying in the one that we set up out here that we had just gotten because we were going to be moving it. We just hadn't done it yet, and there wasn't supposed to be a storm. I know, stupid, we're in Mississippi, weather changes every 5 minutes, I know. So anyway, so Frankie and I are frantically trying to tear this thing down because the wind is winding. And so we get it all torn down, and Mike comes out and finishes helping getting it down. And that's what we did. That's what we did. So that was life. So the morning started off exciting, followed by really exciting infestation of insects, followed by a inebriated situation in the front yard, and the loss of one of my new lights. But it's fine. It's no big deal. I'm just glad he didn't hit my truck because my truck was parked right there too. So I rather him hit the, $20 light than my truck. So yeah. Anywho, and no, before you ask, he didn't slow down. I mean, he did slow down, like he thought he heard something, but then he kept going. Bless him. I think he meant well, but he won't remember it in the morning. Let's just put it that way. I'll pray for him. But I did get a chuckle out of it, even though I will be mourning the loss of my light. So there's that. But anyway, guys, I did get some yard work done today, got some filming done today. I did nothing but edit yesterday. That's why you didn't get a sipping and spilling out of me yesterday, because I was editing. So tonight you guys will see us on our live. Hopefully Mike will be able to join me for that. I like when he gets to join me for a live versus when I do it by myself. I don't mind doing it by myself. That's not true. I do mind doing it by myself. I don't like doing it by myself because I feel incredibly inadequate doing it by myself when it's live. Not this, I don't edit, but this is different because it's just me rambling and I'm not having to read comments and I know what I'm going to say to you guys. On a live, it's comments and it's trying to, like, I have to squint at the screen and it's a struggle for me. Not going to lie, it's a struggle for me. So, and I prefer it if it's just easier to have somebody kind of banter with a little bit, and like you guys can take turns kind of reading and answering comments and keeping the conversation going, and it's just easier. So yeah, I guess I mind. Who knew? Anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you today. You're gonna see us tonight at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time on 3 Mississippi for our live. We hope you join us. I hope you're having a good week so far. It's hump day, so we're halfway to the weekend again. Feels like we were just there, but I'll be happy to be there again. Although in my universe, other than, and Mike was just on vacation, so normally it's like, oh, he's off on the weekends and then not during the week, but that's the only difference really in my world. So there's that. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you. We'll see you tonight on 3 Mississippi, and as always, stay blessed and safety's off.